Pregame.com.
And welcome to Pregame.tv. I'm Teddy Covers, joined by Steve Fezzik. And today we're going to talk about what we've learned through the first 4 days of the NBA playoffs. We're at the very beginning of the very first round, and yet here we are, Fez. We've got some pretty strong opinions based on nothing more than what we saw in all the game ones and a handful of game twos.
Freeze it. I'm booking my plane tickets. Cavs, Golden State are going to the finals. It's done. It's over with, right?
Well, let's talk about the Cavs and Golden State, because certainly there's an important point to be made here when we talk about these two teams. Cleveland, the prohibitive favorite to come out of the East. Golden State, not the prohibitive favorite to come out of the West, but the favorite to come out of the West. Between them, they've won every game, and yet they've covered only 1 point spread in the 1 point spread cover. Let's be honest. You know, it was a lucky cover for Cleveland in game one against Boston. These two teams, they're the best. They are 4-0 straight up. They could be and should be 0-4 against the spread. Right now, they're 1-3 ATS combined. Is there any way to make money with the Cavs or the Warriors right now? The teams that we both think are going to be in the finals, yet the betting markets seem to agree with us.
Maybe with the live wagering is the only way I can think of right now. I know Golden State going into the fourth quarter, they're tied against New Orleans. Game two, live wagering only had to lay 6. It seems like they're going to find a way to go ahead and win by 10. They're going to go ahead and try to get there, and we did that last week on a video with Cleveland. But we got the good number, -11. So at the very end, yeah, the last field goal probably should have gone in. That went all the way around. Yeah. But even so, we would have had to push. So we're free rolling, push or win, absent a three-pointer. But I think the point spread tax is getting very high on these teams.
Yeah, and that makes them both difficult teams to bet, and it makes the NBA playoffs difficult to find good bets to make, because the two best teams, the teams that we expect to be there, the markets see what we see. You're not getting any point spread value on the Warriors. You're not getting any point spread values on the Cavaliers. There was one team that you and I were talking about off air, and you said of all the teams from round one, game one, this team, from watching that first matchup, you're like, there's no way. There's no way they're going anywhere. Of course, that team, the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, my finger. Oh, it hurts. Al Horford gets his finger jammed. Paul Millsap already talking about, well, I have a choice. I could wear my padded, reinforced armor, but then I can't shoot. Or I can take it off, and then I can shoot, but I'll probably get knocked out of the game. Not good choices. Cephalosha already out. Hawks, they're a pretender.
We'll call Atlanta a pretender. And certainly the future odds here in Las Vegas are very, very clear. You know, you can find Cleveland as a favorite. You're going to find San Antonio as a favorite. You're going to find Golden State as a favorite. Atlanta, the #1 seed from the East, a team that you would expect maybe in the 3 or 4 or 5 to 1 range, 12 to 1 at the opening of the playoffs, and they weren't getting any takers at that number.
And back up the bus here, San Antonio was a favorite. Amazing what a couple days does, where the clip joints go ahead and roll these guys. All of a sudden, Tony Parker not looking at 100%. Got to be very, very worried. That path for the Spurs is starting to look impossible for them.
Impossible? I don't know if it's impossible, but certainly we saw very clearly in game one, Chris Paul outplayed Tony Parker. And if the Spurs are going to come back and win this series, it's got to be the other way around. I'm not sure that at this stage of his career, Tony Parker's capable of playing even with or better than Chris Paul.
Going to need the bench to really step it up and get the big plus during those minutes, because when the Clippers are vulnerable, I think.
So we've talked about the Hawks, we've talked about the Spurs, we've talked about the Warriors and the Cavs, all teams that after watching a game or two of the playoffs, our opinions have crystallized a little bit. Let's talk about one more, and this may be with an injury update, because here are the Chicago Bulls, and they're 2-0 against the Bucks straight up, 2-0 against the spread as we record this video. Key injury with Mirotic getting hurt for Chicago. Don't know how long he's going to be out, but the Bulls have looked great so far. Derrick Rose lighting it up. Can that continue?
Yeah, and they cost me a nice bet on Milwaukee +8, so I'm in a foul mood talking Bulls. I tell you, the Mirotic, he looked hurt when he went in for that that was the slowest fast break I've ever seen when he did the finger roll. Derrick Rose had the nice game one. All of a sudden, game two, bagels in the first half, and he's riding the bike with 6 minutes to play during crunch time. I just don't see this team going anywhere in the playoffs.
There you have it. First take on the NBA playoffs. We'll have more next week right here on pregame.tv.